Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. Now, today the video is going to be about caring. I think the world could probably do with some more care in the world. I'm going to give an introduction, which is going to blow your mind. And if not blow your mind, at least open your mind. Now, the thought that I had today was media paints the illusion that people care. You could almost parallel that phrase to attention paints the illusion that people care. So media or the news paints an illusion that people care. Or you could say attention in general paints an illusion that people care. Now I'm going to give you some examples that will hopefully solidify this in your mind and understanding. Let's take... Oh gosh, I just remembered before giving these examples, I'm trying my very best nowadays not to use people's names because I think it's low vibration. And the first example that I had was a person in the news. So instead I'm going to create an analogy. In London at least, there's a terrible trend, and it's been going for a few years now, where people throw acid at people's faces. And it's horrific, absolutely horrific. But I just wanted to highlight. So let's just say in London that happened to someone, and it gets onto the news. As you can imagine, that creates attention. People pay attention to that. Something that's horrible that's happened. But I'm asking you to honestly reflect on the fact of, do you actually care though? Do you actually care? Now, I've come to realize through observing human nature that people don't care. If you was to get it into percentages, you may say, okay, yeah, obviously I care a little bit. But generally, people don't overwhelmingly care. I'll give you an example why people don't care. Because let's take this example. Man gets in car with acid, throws it upon other man's face. Horrible things in the news. Now, I'm about to do something quite cruel, but something that you're going to thank me for after, by giving you a story and a metaphor to just clarify what I'm saying. So in your mind, you might still be saying, this guy, Zed, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just on YouTube to trigger me. La 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 la. I'm not listening to him no more. Unsubscribe. But before you do, I'm just going to prove this point. So man, evil, wicked man gets in the car with his acid, throws it on other man's face. Man ends up on the news. No matter where you are in the world, comes up on your news, this incident has happened, and you're like, damn, that's awful. Now, to show you how human nature actually works, I'm going to say, you care about this man who's got acid over his face now. Hypothetically, Zed pulls up to your house right now, this second, and says, I'm going to need a week of your time to help nurture this man back to good health, unpaid. Can you get in this car with me and help this man who's had acid just thrown all over his face? I'm going to bet my bottom dollar that most of you who are listening to this are going to find me some kind of excuse. And with that excuse, you're going to find a good reason for why you've got every right to say no to me. It may be that you've got a job. It may be that you've got a child or a kid to feed. it may actually even just be bullshit. You may be very capable of actually coming for a week to help this man, but you just don't feel like it. That's my point, is that you care, but you don't care that much. But here's the disclaimer. I'm not here to make you feel shit. I'm here to just give you the truth. And I think that's okay, as long as at least the people on this channel, who are the real ones, can actually go down. Fuck, that Zeddy just got me again. That motherfucker got me again. Like I said, I do care, but I don't care that much, because people don't really sacrifice the things going on in their life to help others. People are inherently selfish, as I've mentioned in a different video. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a human thing. It's just we live a lie of telling ourselves otherwise. We live a life trying to convince other people that we're not the bad person, when we've got a completely fucked up or stupid version of what bad actually is. Most people are just complex. Most people are somewhat self-serving. But, you know, I'm not out here to necessarily say that you're maybe not the 2% who you might actually get in that car and say, okay, I'm going to help this person for a week just because I care. I heard that on the news and I care. But what you're going to find is when you go through any example, if it's Black Lives Matter, if it's something funky going on in the royal family, if it's presidential elections, if it's some natural disaster. If I said, get in that car, there's just been an earthquake in India, come help me out. Most people put in that situation are going to find some kind of excuse, but still try and tell you how they care. So as I said, attention often creates an illusion that people care. So when you see things on the news or when you see things publicized, it's just a little bit of wisdom that I'm passing on to everyone who's listening here. That just because something has attention doesn't mean that people actually care about it. Doesn't mean that people are actually going to do anything about it. It doesn't actually mean that it touched that string of kindness and care that people actually try to paint the illusion that they do have that kind of care when they actually don't. So like I said, it's not throwing stones at anyone. It's me saying I'm guilty of this too. I did wake up to it myself. That's why I'm sharing it with you. But it's not to say that you're a bad person and I'm a good person. It's to say that we've all got that chink in our armor, but we can be honest about it. And we can celebrate the things that we do actually care about openly and honestly. So that's kind of what this reading is going to be about. It's going to be about maybe something caring that you do have about you. Maybe you need to celebrate it. Maybe we're just shining light on it today, but hopefully it's going to give you some form of confirmation or wisdom, something to better your life, better your day. So as always, pole number 1, pole number 2 and pole number 3. Feel free to pause the video and we'll start off with pole number 1s. Okay, pole number 1s, something caring about you. Just sitting on the energy. Hope you're doing good, pole number 1s. It's kind of giving the vibe of spirit guides, but it's not that. And it's a little bit too long-winded to draw. So I'm going to have to describe this for you. Remember to check out the introduction, pile number ones. Kind of gave some gems in that. So this is almost like, in reality, you know, this would be representing of like crowds, a crowd. And I think this is you in the middle. Pile number ones. Now, the crowd is obviously it's going to vary depending on who's listening to this. And these specs are just to represent more people that I don't have the time to draw. This crowd is going to vary depending on who's listening. But what's key here is that this kind of gives the impression of like a Leo energy, you know, like a singer or a performer or a speaker speaking to this crowd. And actually it's not that. What we're actually talking about here is magnetizing energy. We're kind of talking about like flame, moths to flame type energy. It's not even moths to flame, it's more just magnetic. It's more like do you know what a really good example of this would be? Because I'm kind of making a point out of this pile number ones, because I don't want you to think that this is very ego based. This is like, you know, in the animal kingdom when there's a lake and it's a small lake, but all the different types of animals come to the lake to drink. You know, in the wildlife programs where it shows like a lion on one side and a gazelle on the other side, but they both need water, even though like give it a few hours and one could be in the other. You're like the lake. You're not saying, here, I'm a lake, bow to me. Or you're not here at the lake saying, look, I sing really good, come watch me sing. You're just being a lake and people come drink from the lake. And to be honest with you, you might even have an energy, pile number ones, where people might even underappreciate that. You know, I'm sure when the lion goes to the water, he's not thinking, hallelujah, thank you for this lake. He's not praying to God, thank you. It's been a long day, oh, thank you. Dehydrated. The lion's probably just going in a millisecond, gone, oh, I know the water's there, drink. I'm going to go back to my girls. And my cubs, if I'm lucky. Do you know what I'm saying? It's probably a split instinct. So, pile number ones, you might embrace that energy a little bit, that you're kind of that caring person who just is the lake. They don't really expect nothing back. And you don't even have the sign on your forehead saying, hey, look, I'm a lake. You just are. So pile number one's quite a quick reading today, but I think it was beautiful and I think we got to the point there, so I'm not going to milk it. If you enjoyed the reading, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, pile number twos. Ways in which you're caring. Now, these figures today could be masculine or feminine. I'm kind of getting the image here. So these are like animals. I'm feeling kind of dogs and cats, but there's a lot of like wagging. They're excited. They're excited to see this character. There's some drawing the little tails there, but I'm trying to show that they're wagging because they're happy to see this. That almost looks a bit like a pig, to be honest. So it could be it's a small pig. Let's do a little curly tail on it. It's meant to be a dog. And I'm just doing some love hearts. Kind of coming off this person just to express like radiation, like radiating. So yeah, like number twos, pile number twos. I feel like this is obviously my like animal lovers, pet lovers. You might have pets, so you care for animals. This might be my vets out there. I don't think that energy's ever come in. But kind of like vets or animal lovers. And if you're not really seen as an animal person, this is kind of like generally you have a vibration to you that animals like. I think something Spirit was actually telling me to be aware of pile number twos. Like for some of you who don't see yourself as animal people, remember that animals, they don't always show their love through the tail wagging. Sometimes an animal respects your energy through nothingness too. As in, when an animal almost, I wouldn't say ignores you, but doesn't give the highest of attention, it's sometimes because your energy is so calm that they might not even, they're not fazed by you. Do you understand? Like, I'll give you an example to prove my point to this. When an animal really doesn't like your energy, it makes a noise about it, it shows it. But nothingness sometimes is a sign that the animal is just calm around you. It doesn't even notice you to some level. That's also a good sign. Now, if you compare that to a random cat or dog rubbing up to you and being excited to see you, of course that's a higher vibration of showing love. I'm not trying to say an animal doing nothing is more affectionate than a dog jumping on your lap the first time you see them. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that sometimes the nothingness is also a good sign, It's a sign that you fit in well, like there's no threat here. There's not dark energy here that's making the animal fearful or scared or on alert. So pile number twos for the people out there who just kind of didn't really resonate with that energy. That was just a sign for you. I'm not actually a pet owner, but I would say that generally pets tend to like me. And for the people who are pet owners, you'll probably see the sense in what I'm trying to say here with when an animal is kind of neutral, it's not a bad thing, It's not the same as when an animal's just acting weird or, scared or aggressive with someone. It's completely different. I often find as well with like cats, they can sometimes be a little bit like they can give you kind of this little whatever energy, but it's because cats, they're a little bit like women. So women kind of expect you sometimes, well, all the time really, is to make the approach to them. You know, like I don't, what's it? I don't, I can't remember the saying. I've butchered it, but I don't go get it, I attract it, or whatever the women are saying these days. Cats are a little bit like women in that sense, that a cat might give you the vibe a little bit like hard to get, but they really want your attention, so they will kind of circle around you, not come close to you, but then kind of just get just the close, just close enough into your energy space that you like make the approach. You know, it's like the girl who's walking down the street, like she sees you, and she's not going to give you the direct "I want to fuck you" face with the eyes, but she saw you 5 minutes ago, and now she's going to just give you a certain energy which says I'm available, but I'm not thirsty. That's like that's the cat's, god damn it. And then sometimes the cats be thirsty, you know, sometimes they can't help themselves. They're like, damn, I want this one. So they'll make themselves seen. But you know, like there's also that high percentage of cats that, you know, they kind of suss you out first. They're like, damn, I like the way that this one smells, but look, I'm just gonna wander a little bit, see if he's smart enough to catch me. Do you know what I'm saying? On that note, part number two. I know that I've got probably some of the masculines and feminines laughing at this one. But you know, real talk though, real talk, real talk. Part number two is I think you just got a really nice. You might even be a little bit. Uh, no, I think it's both types of people here. I was gonna say introverted, but I think there's extroverted energy here too. It's just I had a little bit of a feeling of like, you know, you find sometimes those people who just have like two cats and they live by themselves, or they're just happy with like themselves and the dog, and they don't need all the friends in the world. I was getting a little bit of that energy, but to be honest, when I'm feeling the vibration of this person here, they're quite extroverted actually. So it kind of goes against that. I think there's two groups of people here. Yeah, I'd also say, just to end the reading, pole number two is like, look at exploring like different animals. You might already have like different animals, but it reminds me of like someone who's not just good with cats and dogs, like because the pig showed itself there. It's like random, you know, like some people are into maybe reptiles, or I'm even getting like aquariums and fish, and you know, just, you know, I'm almost getting the. Do you remember that movie Doctor Dolittle with Eddie Murphy? Fuck, it's been ages since I've seen that. Yeah, that, you know, it's not just limited to your cats and your dogs. So, part number two, I'm bringing that to your attention. You might think of like other things that you like. Like, what else do people have pets? I know, like in Dubai, they're into like the wild cats and stuff. But yeah, have a think on that. Right, part number two is thanks for being here. If you enjoyed the reading, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, part number three is way that you're caring. You can probably see what's coming here. We're gonna start out that arm. I'll tell you what's interesting about this reading before my voice completely goes. Have mercy on me, pal. Pal Freeze, pray for me for good health. This is like elderly, but the bizarre thing here is that this person's walking just fine, just fine. So the caring could be towards elderly people, but I've just got a feeling here that this person isn't. They're walking just fine. They got the walking stick, but they're walking just fine. It could be pile number three is you might be an older person watching this. I'm not going to say elderly, you may be, but you might be kind of, you know, more mature, of a maturer age. There's something here almost could be like young at heart energy. Do you know what? The original energy here was like caring for the elderly, but I think it's a bit more specific than that. And I think pile number three is, if you haven't already, check out the introduction, because I think there's something beautifully selfish about this trait of yours. So it's caring, but there's something beautifully selfish about it. Let me elaborate. I think pile number three is you like helping the elderly people who you see have still got the young heart, who are still living life in the way that they want to the fullest. Because if I was to leave this at you just like helping elderly people, that would mean including um, the miserable person. I remember speaking to an elderly person not too long ago. The conversation was really quick, and I was happy that it ended so quickly, because she ended the conversation. She basically spent the whole time complaining, and then talking about her friends who weren't too well and stuff. And then she said, as she said goodbye, she, instead of saying goodbye, she just said, "Yeah, and I'll just go off to die." And I just thought, my gosh, that vibration was so low. And you know what? It wasn't even what she said, it was the way that she said it. Because I know certain elderly people who could have said that, but they would have said it with a smile on their face, like, ha ha ha, and actually genuinely meant it in a funny way, like, yeah, I'm just going off to die. And it would have been funny. But she said it in the most serious, depressing way possible. And like I said, I was just happy that the conversation ended. And I feel pile number three is you might be better than me at this, because I think you keep a far distance from those types of people, but you tend to focus on the elderly people who've got the good energy still. And I'm saying that it's beautifully selfish, because obviously you gain wisdom from these types of people. You understand how you should act at that age. And like I said, pile number three is, I think there may be just a few of you out there who are, like I said, of the maturer age, who are this example. You know, you might be listening to this. I remember checking my algorithms, and the algorithms didn't really reflect many people of, you know, the certain upper age group. And so I'd be surprised if any of you are on here, but I do feel like I'm talking to a few of you where you may just be of that mature age, and you might actually be this person who I'm talking to. You may be the person who, you know, physically you're of a certain age that people may say that you're elderly, but you know, you still got that spring in your step. And like I said, for the majority of people, it's that you are attracted to people like that. You know, you're attracted to the people who, are of the maturer age, but you know, you kind of still have that spring in your step, that youth in your heart, that youthfulness in your heart. Because you know, even when I look at this image as well, it's almost like they're power walking. The two things don't even make sense. It's like the walking stick, and then the person's almost looking like they're power walking. It's almost like the damn walking sticks an aesthetic piece. So yeah, you might resonate with this pile number 3. If not, like, I don't know, you may be having little jokes with yourself, like thinking that you're getting old when you're not really old. But because this reading is about caring, I think it's more to do with the fact that, you know, you have a kind heart, or at least a respect for the elderly. You have a caring there. So remember, pole number 3 is in the introduction. I wasn't trying to say that as humans we don't care at all. I was just saying that we don't care as much as we say we do. We put on a facade, and the whole point of this reading was actually maybe exposing the areas where you do genuinely care. And even if this reading doesn't resonate with you per se, at least it will give you the moment to actually think about, what do you actually care about when you are giving money to a charity. Which charities do you actually prefer to give that money to? You know, when you do have that free time, who do you want to help? And that you'll find closer to the truth than that pointless conversation that you have talking about what's on the news today, you know. So Pile 3 is beautiful reading. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.